Hello everyone. In this tutorial video, I'm going to share some experience of using three basic APIs and pre-trained models from Hugging Face. And all the information you can see from here is obtained from the internet, Hugging Face forum, YouTube, and Stack Overflow. I just summarized them and would like to share this knowledge with you in order to help beginners in quickly getting acquainted with this new tool. Because I was a beginner before and I was so confused about how to use the pre-trained models and APIs available on Hugging Face. So in this video, I just want to provide some basic knowledge and help. Okay, I will first walk you through some basic knowledge and later will be a demo to demonstrate how to write NLP code by using these APIs and pre-trained models. All right, so let's just get started. This is my outline. Uh, Today I will be covering these 5 steps. First, before coding, you need to apply for a Hugging Face account. And second, you have to install some necessary dependencies. And then I will talk about three basic APIs, pipeline, tokenizer, and model. And then there will be a demo coming after to show you how to write a simple NLP code. It is as simple as 3 lines of code in which you can perform NLP analysis. And last but not least, I gathered some frequently asked questions based on my use experience. Okay, where to apply? You can visit Hugging Face website and input your email address and give your password. You can set up a password for this, and then it will ask your username, your full name, and some optional information. If you want to provide, that's fine. And if you don't want, then you can feel free to skip this field and just click on create account. Then you will successfully create your account. And upon successfully create your account on the Hugging Face website, uh, you can click on your icon at the right-hand side, and there is a settings. Click on settings, and you will find access tokens at the left-hand side column. Click on that, and you can create a new token, and make sure you copy this new token because we're gonna use this to log in onto the Hugging Face on the notebook. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so in second step, you will need to install necessary dependencies. For example, transformers, torch, TensorFlow, and Hugging Face. And this is the command we're going to use to log in onto the Hugging Face on the notebook. But if you find some other way to do that, then feel free to skip this one. This one is optional. Okay. And next is the 3 APIs. There are 3 APIs that you can use. First is pipeline and tokenizer and models. And in pipeline, you can consider pipeline as a turnkey function works in a way that it takes care of tokenization and applies some appropriate model for your task. And third, generate predicted outcomes for you. And here is a concrete example. For example, you can input a sentence. I like ChatGPT, and the pipeline function will select a tokenizer to split your input for you, split your input into several tokens and associate them with unique token IDs. And this list of token IDs is an intermediate result and will be fed into the model to generate uh, um, another intermediate result and feed into the post-processing and generate a final prediction output for you. Okay. If you are interested in and would like to learn more, then you can click on the following link. It will show you more detailed information about the pipeline. Okay. And for Tokenizer is a pre-processed stage for machines to understand input sentences. The reason why we have this stage is because machines really cannot understand wrote sentences directly. Input sentences must be formulated in a structure that machines can understand. Therefore, a sentence has to be split into tokens and assigned numerical numbers to these tokens so that the machine can find a um, most meaningful representation to given sentences. And there are three different implementations for tokenization. Word-based means that a given input is divided into individual words or tokens, which are associated with unique IDs. And character-based is to further divide a word into character and associate each character with an ID. And subword is an alternative implementation that falls between word-based and character-based approaches. But we are not going to dive in very deep uh, in tokenization because you can consider it's a black box um, that encapsulated in a pipeline object. So you don't really need to worry about the underlying implementation. You can just feel free to use a pipeline and the pipeline will take a good care of it for you. Okay, and last but not least is the model. And there is a fun fact behind this. Do you know that the carbon dioxide emission by training a model from scratch is almost equivalent to the carbon dioxide emission by 5 vehicles in their lifetime? So this is a very huge volume of emission, and that's why Hugging Face really encourages people to use pre-trained models that have already been contributed to the community. A model API can help to instantiate a transformer using a checkpoint. And the checkpoint is the pre-trained configuration and model files contributed by other users. And if you are interested in more detailed information about auto class model can be found in the following links. Okay, so let's dive into demo. In a demo, I will be using Google Colab. It's free and easy to use, but the memory and disk space are limited. If you need to pull some powerful models that require more than 12 gigabyte memory and more than 78 gigabyte space, then you probably need to purchase a subscription. Okay, so let's get started. Remember in step 2, I mentioned that we have to install some dependency, right? So here we are going to um, install transformers and sorry, and also install Forge. TensorFlow, install in face. Some of them are already available, but some of them are not. So just make sure you install all necessary um, dependency before you can run NLP analysis. All right, completed. And next, we have to log in onto Hugging Face. So remember, we just installed Hugging Face Hub, right? So from Hugging Face Hub, import notebook, login. And run it. Okay, so remember we copy the access token from here. So this time we're going to use this access token. So make sure you copy it and paste here, login. Okay, so it tells you token is valid and login is successful. Okay, so it's good. And right now we can write NLP code to for your analysis. Okay, so the very first one I would like to write is a pipeline. So from the transformer import pipeline. Okay, so for the first example, I would like to have a sentiment analysis. So we're gonna create a pipeline object and assign a task called sentiment analysis. So you create a pipeline object and assign a given task you want NLP model analyze for you. And also you can specify a model here. For example, lemma 7B or something or 13B. But if you leave it blank, then it's going to use a default model. But for our first example, I'm going to use a default model. Okay. Sentiment. And here you're going to input your input sentence. For example, I like ChatGPT. And let's see what's the output be like. Okay, so here's the output. It's the statement is positive and the score is 82%. How about if we change another statement like I hate the weather today. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this time you can see the statement is pretty negative and the score is 99%. Okay, so this is how you can write a very simple NLP code for your analysis. And for this one, task, how you can find which task you want to use, right? You can visit Hugging Face website. And there is a docs at the right-hand side here. Just click on that and click on transformer. And at the left-hand side, scroll it down, and you will find the pipeline here. Click on it. Okay, so Here, it shows some very simple example here. And if you scroll it down, you will find, okay, so here's a parameter task. So this is the task you can use for your analysis. For example, audio classification, document question answering, blah, 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 question answering, summarization, blah, blah, blah. So this bunch of tasks you can assign to the NLP model and perform it. You can play around with the different parameters here. Okay, and next, the second example I would like to show you is another task called text generation, which is very powerful because you can you can provide a model with some incomplete sentence, and the model will finish the sentence for you. For example, okay, generator. And for this example, I'm gonna create another pipeline object. And this time, we're gonna use text generation. Okay, so this task can be found on the pipeline website here, the task. Okay, and yeah, generator, here we put our input. For example, I like baking because, and let the model to finish the rest of the sentence for us. Okay, it takes some time. Okay, so here's a generated result. So I like baking because it's so easy and it leaves a little to the imagination, blah, blah, blah. So this is how text generation works. You can assign this task and input some incomplete sentence and the model will finish the rest of the sentence for you. Okay. And the last example I want to share is how to use some model, some pre-trained model that already there on the Hugging Face. So that means someone already train a model and contribute to the community, and you can just directly pull the model and use the model to analysis. Okay, so for this case, we're gonna from transformers import pipeline from transformers import import to model for this case we're gonna okay, so we're gonna introduce another very powerful functionality by the NLP model, which is question answering. So you can input your question and let the model give you some answers. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a pipeline function, and this is your tokenizer, and last but not least, this is your model. Okay, so you have to determine which model you want to use. Model name. So you can you can visit it again. You can visit it, the Hugging Face website here, right? So click on models, and there are a bunch of model available here. So, yeah, wait. Okay, yeah, there are a bunch of model available here. And for example, this time we are specifically looking to question answering. So you can use a filter at the left-hand side to help you to filter out a relevant model for your analysis. And as you can see, these model, they are related to question answering. So you can just select one of them. For example, I just randomly select one of them. Okay, copy and paste. So you can instantiate the model you just select. Okay, for example, auto model for question answering from retrain model, and just copy and paste model name. And next, you have to also provide your tokenizer, and this time you're gonna use we're gonna use auto tokenizer from retrained model name, copy and paste. Okay, and we are going to create another pipeline object and specify the analysis we would like to do. For example, this time we're going to do a question answering. And this time, different from last time, is we're going to specify model and tokenizer here. Okay. Okay, so here we're gonna input the questions. And because this is question answering, so you have also need to input context to provide the model some background knowledge. So for example, we know there are three major telecom company in US, right? And they are AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Okay, so my question is, which telecom company is the best in US? Okay, okay, just run it. So for NLP model, the model perform analysis for you, right? Most of the time it takes a couple of minutes to finalize and generate. Okay, okay. So this time is quick. Okay, so you can see the answer generated by model is AT&T. So um, from this model, its understanding is that AT&T is the best telecommunication company in the state. So that's the answer. Okay, so that's all the example I would like to share. Let's go back to slides. Okay. All right, so um, Finally, I also prepared some frequently asked questions. So, for example, first is what if you still run off your space? For example, if you use a Google Colab, if you run out of your space, or what are you going to do to overcome this issue? Okay, so so you can check here, right? So it shows your memory space and your disk space. Right now it's fine, but um over time, when you pull more and more models to perform your analysis, um you gradually run out of your disk space. So for this time, by the time you almost run out of your disk space, then you can check. Okay, sorry. You can run this command ls dash lh and this folder because uh, whenever you pull the model from Hugging Face, they will be stored in this path under this folder. So you can use this command to check how many models uh, has have been stored in on your Google Colab. And if you really don't need to use, for example, GPT-2, if you don't want to use it and you want to delete it to free up some of your space, then you can just remove it. Okay, so in this way, it's gonna free up your disk space. And you can run this again. So right now you cannot see GPT-2 anymore because it was deleted. Okay, so where to find auto class associated with specific portrait model? Okay, so you can visit this website. Also, it's Hugging Face website. So you can go to. Okay, and you can click on Document Transformer, and at the left-hand side column, scroll it down, and you will find the auto class here. Okay, and in the auto class, you can see there are some example, and at the right-hand side, you can see there are a lot of classes. For example, for natural language processing, you will find auto model for Cursor LM, and this one is for text generation. And if you look into another like auto model for mask generation, auto model for sequence to sequence LM, blah blah blah. So you can find a model class here and use the model class relevant or related to the task you want to perform. So this is where you can check the auto model class and find the relevant auto model class for your task analysis. Okay, so back to the slide. Here are some common tasks, and their relevant auto model classes you have to use. For example, sequence classification, you have to use the auto model for sequence classification. And for text generation, you have to use auto model for causal LM, blah, 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 something like that. Okay. And the third question, what is the difference between auto model and auto model for blah, blah, blah? Because as you might know that there is a auto model class called auto model, and uh, why don't we just use this auto model? Why don't we even bother using some of the other auto class model here? So the difference between the two, between auto model and auto model for blah 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 in Hugging Face are there are two classes, and for auto models, uh, this auto model class is a generic model class that automatically identifies and initialize the appropriate pre-trained architecture based on provide model checkpoint. It's very useful when you want to load a pre-trained model for various tasks, such as feature extraction, fine-tuning, or pre-training. And because it's a generic class, it doesn't have a task-specific head. For example, for classification, for tokenization, etc., etc. And for auto model for blah blah blah, uh, for example, this class on the other hand is specifically designed for a specific task. For example, sentiment analysis or text generation, etc., etc. So when you load a pre-trained model using this uh, um, class, this task, it automatically add a linear layer on top of the pre-trained model for your task, for your purposes. And this makes it more convenient when you have a specific task in mind and want to fine-tune the model for that task. So in summary, auto model is a more general purpose class for loading pre-trained models, while auto model for blah 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 is tailored or tailored for specific tasks for your use. Yeah. Okay, so that's all for today's tutorial video. Um, Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this video is going to help you to learn quicker and understand faster how to use Hugging Face. Okay, thank you very much for watching.